Picture this. You walk into a room and there's that person who just radiates confidence. Not loud, not flashy, just sure. And you think, wow, they're so lucky to be born that way. But here's the plot twist. They weren't. Today we're diving into learned confidence, the idea that confidence isn't a personality trait you're stuck with, but a mindset you can actually develop. We'll explore why everything you've been told about building confidence is backwards, how achievable risk creates a confidence-building loop, and practical ways to shift from seeing uncertainty as a threat to seeing it as opportunity. And to help me unpack this fascinating concept, I'm joined by someone who spent years studying how confidence actually forms. So let's start with the basics. What exactly is learned confidence?
So learned confidence is fundamentally a mindset that reframes how confidence actually forms. Most people assume confidence enables risk. Like you need to feel confident first, then you can take action. But in practice, the order is usually reversed.
Wait, reversed? So you're saying we don't need confidence to take risks?
Exactly. By setting your mind to take on an achievable challenge and then overcoming that challenge, that's what actually builds confidence. It's action first, confidence second.
That's actually kind of mind-blowing, because I think most of us have been waiting to feel confident before we do the scary thing.
Right, and that's why so many people stay stuck. They're waiting for a feeling that can only come from experience. But here's something crucial. Confidence and courage aren't the same thing, and we mix them up all the time.
Okay, break that down for me. What's the difference?
Confidence answers the question, can I trust myself to engage with uncertainty? Courage answers a different question. Will I act even when fear is present and the cost feels real?
So confidence is about uncertainty, courage is about fear.
Exactly. And here's the thing, learnt confidence doesn't eliminate fear. It changes how people relate to uncertainty. You still need courage when fear shows up, especially in moments that threaten your identity or values.
That makes so much sense. So courage might get you to take that first step, but confidence is what keeps you moving forward?
Beautifully put. Courage initiates movement, confidence sustains it. Over time, confidence reduces how often you need to summon courage, but it never completely replaces it.
Now, I'm curious about this whole achievable risk concept, because when I hear risk, I think danger. But you're talking about it like it's good?
Achievable risk is the sweet spot. It stretches your ability without overwhelming it. It's difficult but survivable. And here's the key. Failure remains informative, not crushing.
Informative, not crushing. I like that.
When people act at this edge, three things happen. They gather real evidence about their capability, they experience cause and effect, and they reduce uncertainty about themselves. So confidence emerges after the action, not before it.
But not all risk builds confidence, right? I mean, I could go bungee jumping tomorrow, but I don't think that would make me more confident at work.
Absolutely right. Some risk actually destroys confidence, but achievable risk produces what they call learning signals. Your effort connects to the outcome and adjustment becomes possible.
Learning signals. So it's not just about taking risks, it's about taking the right kind of risks where you can actually learn something.
Exactly. And that's where the learning piece becomes crucial. Success alone isn't enough to build confidence. Learning is what turns success into confidence.
Okay, so how does that work? What's the difference between just succeeding and actually learning?
After any attempt, three questions matter. What worked? Why did it work? And what can I repeat next time? Without reflection, confidence stays situational. With reflection, confidence becomes transferable.
Transferable. So you're not just confident in that one specific situation, but you can carry it forward.
Right. This is the moment confidence stops being luck-based and becomes earned, and it creates what they call a virtuous cycle of learned confidence.
Tell me about this cycle. How does it work?
It's a 6-step loop. Take an achievable risk, act with attention and effort, observe outcomes, extract lessons, increase self-trust, then attempt slightly larger risks. Each cycle reduces internal hesitation and expands your sense of agency.
So it's like confidence compound interest? Each cycle builds on the last one?
That's a perfect analogy. Eventually, people stop asking, am I confident? And start asking, what can I try next? The whole relationship with uncertainty shifts.
Now, there's this framework mentioned called the Thrive loop. Is that related to what we're talking about?
The Thrive loop is basically a structured way to practice this mindset. It stands for tackle, hypothesize, reach, inspect, value, and energize. It's like having a roadmap for building confidence through experience.
Can you walk me through that? Like, what does each step actually look like?
Sure. Tackle means choosing an achievable risk and acting despite uncertainty. Hypothesize is forming a working theory about what might work. It turns risk into experiment.
So you're not just jumping in blind, you're making an educated guess.
Exactly. Then reach is the execution, applying effort under real conditions. Inspect is the crucial part, where you examine what happened and why. This is where experience transforms into understanding.
And without that inspection step, you're just doing stuff without learning from it.
Right. Then, value means extracting what you can reuse, building an internal playbook. And energize is when your willingness to re-engage returns because capability became clearer.
I love how this reframes uncertainty. Instead of being this scary thing to avoid, it becomes, what? Exactly.
It becomes an opening. For many people, uncertainty feels like a closed door. It suggests risk, exposure, loss of control. But with a learned confidence mindset, uncertainty reveals multiple paths instead of a single, fragile one.
That's such a shift. From, oh no, I don't know what's going to happen, to, oh, interesting, I wonder what's possible here.
Exactly. And here's what's fascinating. Most systems train people to treat uncertainty as a threat. This encourages caution, compliance, preservation. But learned confidence treats uncertainty as opportunity.
And opportunity means outcomes aren't fixed, right? Like, new value can still be created.
Right. In this mindset, confidence doesn't mean certainty. It means trust in your ability to learn. People stop asking, what if this fails, and start asking, what could emerge here?
You know what's interesting? This sounds like it could apply way beyond just personal confidence. Like, this could change how organizations work, how teams function.
Absolutely. The page content talks about how disruptive ideas rarely come from secure ground. They emerge at the edges of uncertainty. People with learned confidence step into uncertainty intentionally and test assumptions others protect.
So this isn't just about feeling better about yourself. This is about innovation, progress.
Exactly. It's described as an evolutionary force, not a personality trait. When uncertainty is avoided, systems stagnate. When uncertainty is engaged, alternatives emerge.
That's huge. So learned confidence isn't just personal development, it's how societies evolve.
Right. And it doesn't require fearlessness or heroics. It just requires trust in learning. This creates confidence that expands the future rather than protecting the past.
But let's bring this back to the individual level. How do people actually start building this kind of confidence?
The key insight is that people rarely lack confidence because they're broken. They lack confidence because they haven't been guided through the right risks. Designing achievable challenges changes everything.
So it's not about fixing yourself, it's about finding the right level of challenge.
Exactly. And making learning explicit. When you combine achievable risk with reflection, growth becomes practical. It's not bravado or hype, just earned self-trust, built one step at a time.
I have to ask, what about the inner voices? Because I feel like there's this whole internal dialogue happening when we're facing uncertainty.
That's crucial. Confidence isn't built only through external action, it's shaped by the inner narratives that interpret those actions. What people tell themselves before and after risk determines whether learning occurs.
So you could do all the right external things, but still not build confidence if your internal voice is sabotaging you.
Exactly. Some inner voices narrow options, others reopen them. When saboteur voices dominate, people may still act, but learning becomes distorted. Success gets dismissed as luck, failure becomes proof of inadequacy.
And ally voices?
Ally voices don't deny fear or difficulty, but they reframe what experience means. They treat outcomes as information rather than verdicts. They ask, what worked? What was learned? What can be adjusted next time?
So it's the difference between I failed, I'm terrible versus that didn't work, what can I learn?
Exactly. And over time, this interpretation builds self-trust. Confidence grows because learning is retained, not because fear disappeared.
This is making me think about all the times I've tried to fake it till I make it. Sounds like that's missing the point entirely.
There's a big difference between acting confident and learning confidence. Acting confident focuses on performance and managing appearance. Learning confidence focuses on building actual capability and trust.
So you can look confident on the outside, but still feel fragile inside.
Exactly. Learned confidence emerges only when inner narratives support learning from experience. It's not about pretending fear is gone, it's about trusting that learning will occur even when fear is present.
Okay, so when we step back from all of this, what's the bigger picture? What does this mean for how we approach growth and development?
The bigger picture is that confidence isn't something you have or don't have, it's something you develop through a specific process. And that process is learnable, repeatable, and transferable across different areas of life.
Which means anyone can build it, regardless of where they're starting from.
Right. It's about changing your relationship with uncertainty from avoidance to engagement. When you do that, uncertainty stops being a barrier and becomes a doorway to new possibilities.
And the practical takeaway is to start small, reflect on what happens, and gradually expand your comfort zone.
Exactly. Find achievable challenges, pay attention to what works and why, and trust the process. Confidence will emerge as a natural byproduct of learning, not as a prerequisite for action.
You know what I love about this? It takes confidence out of the realm of personality and puts it into the realm of skill. And skills can be developed.
That's the whole point. It's not about being born confident or waiting for confidence to strike. It's about understanding that confidence is learned through experience, reflection, and gradually expanding what feels manageable.
So the next time you're facing something uncertain, instead of waiting to feel confident, you can just start with something achievable and see what happens.